Hey, man.
What's up, dude?
Sup? Dude, we're on time. There was never a doubt.
You were here 10 seconds before we started, and I've been here for 10 minutes.
The roles were reversed for the first time ever. I was like,
Okay,
it was all not my fault. It was, I'm usually here like 20, 30 minutes before it's chilling. This one is not on me either.
Because you're the one making the room.
Yeah, this one is not on me. This is on Marky.
You cannot blame Mr. Blutman.
This is on Marky. 100%. Yeah, I had to upload videos. I had to do TikTok. This one's not on me. You also need a new hairstylist. Let's get that out of the way.
Here we go. Yeah. Sorry, I did my hair today.
So you clearly listened to Adam's YouTube comment who said you need a new hairstyle.
Wait, that was Adam?
Yeah, it was A. Cole. It has to be Adam. It had to be Adam. He's the one who uploaded the video too and then commented right away. So
I'm dumb. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, let me fire this tweet off for our stream. Talk a little bit to the 1 or 2 viewers.
All right, everybody, welcome to the only stream that we will be doing until the draft day stream tomorrow, which you should be tuned into. I believe it's starting at 6:30 Central Standard Time, as I can mute my phone because it's going berserk.
Please do.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a popular person that gets a lot of Twitter notifications that totally aren't even from my account.
The account I run.
Yes, the account you run, I'm getting notifications for that. But
Nice.
Yeah, the final preparation stream going into tomorrow. It's almost draft day.
Dun dun dun. Draft day.
I don't know about troubles with copyright, but I really just want to play Draft Day by Drake. I love that song.
I have a good alternate for that, actually. Hold on.
Oh,
How do you feel about feeing the Ducks?
test it.
It's on. Chris.
Draft Day.
Olave.
Manziel. 5 years later, how am I the man still? Draft Day. A. Wiggins. Can't say the other words.
Yeah, that's a bar and a half.
Don't even
we're
test
done
it,
with
man.
that.
No.
I'm not. I'm literally not. I just said I just turned it off. Like what?
Yeah, I don't want
Derek Stingley. I'm a hillbilly.
Just no.
It'd be a crime if the Bills then go cornerback at 25.
Crime and 5 don't rhyme. Liam.
It sounded good.
I think we have different definitions of sounding good.
I mean, I guess we got a lot to talk about though here.
We do indeed. Do you want to introduce the first topic?
Yeah. What's your favorite juice? Apple or cranberry?
It's not cranberry. It's not freaking cranberry.
Wait, you don't even like cranberry juice?
I don't like. No one drinks cranberry juice that often. It's like
Someone drank it quite often today.
okay. Sorry, I chugged a 1/4 gallon of cranberry juice for a skit.
It was a good skit. It came out well.
It was good, but
I know the chime. I didn't know how. Look again. I barely got in here in time. Half of that is because I was on TikTok for 10 minutes trying to figure out how I could get your draft chime sound in with the NBA intro song. And I couldn't figure it out. I can't figure out how to only get your sound
it's
to
fine.
play during your part because mine had no audio, as did Matt's. So I mean, whatever. Let's just talk straight up. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what we should talk about first. Let's kind of bounce around the topics. Let's go with the player risk. Unless you were going to say something else.
I was just gonna say there's no structure to this anymore. It's just chaos.
Yeah, just much like the draft is going to be after pick 6 tomorrow, or at pick 6.
No, I'd say pick.
Okay, man. Well, I'll say the draft has no structure at 1. Exactly. The draft has no structure at 1 because Trayvon Walker is going 1. And that just goes right into the player risk part. Is he one of your player risks?
He is probably on the top 5. I did write down 3.
Uh,
But another defensive lineman, Jordan Davis, massive risk, in my
Yeah.
opinion. You're drafting a defensive tackle in the top 15, and he doesn't have ability as a pass rusher. Let's go back. Flashback music. Doo-doo-doo-doo. That was really bad. But in 2020, the Carolina Panthers made a pick in Derek Brown, 7th overall, that we all thought was quite moronic. I don't know if that's a word.
Gosh, it was moronic to the third
just,
power.
It was just such a bad pick. I mean, Derek Brown, he's a good player, but a defensive tackle does not have the value that they held 20 years ago. This is a completely different NFL. You need somebody that gets after the quarterback. Derek Brown's biggest flaw was he was not great getting to the quarterback. Jordan Davis can't get to the quarterback. So that makes it worse that he's projected to go in the top 15 or 20.
Yeah. Let's just talk about this. Jordan Davis might have more value as a goal line fullback. Well, I'll say goal line ball carrier than a pass rusher.
Wildcat quarterback.
Like he literally, I truly believe he'll have more. He might score his first touchdown before he scores his first sack. Before he records his first sack.
Yeah.
That could happen.
You know what? I think what could happen. Remember, I want to say it was a playoff game. Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry threw a touchdown when he lined up as a wildcat quarterback.
I believe he did a bit of a jump pass.
Yeah, it was like the what was it? Don Terry Poe did that, I think. Yeah, so I think he's going to end up doing that because the other team's going to see him lined up at quarterback, and they're going to be like, "Oh, shoot, stack the middle," and then he's just going to do like a Dirk fadeaway.
I'll pay to see that. Whatever. Sunday ticket on Apple.
Jordan Davis doing a Dirk fadeaway. Welcome to the 2022 NFL season.
I mean, I don't know.
I feel like, okay, I do want to say something. We have, in a way, trashed Jordan Davis a lot. He's a really good player.
Yeah, he's a great player for what he is. It's just we're huge. We're really big on the whole value thing. And, Jordan Davis as a mid-second round pick, I'm here for it. That's great. I still have Travis Jones above him at the defensive tackle spot because Travis Jones gets after the dang quarterback. And if he wasn't on UConn, there is reason to believe that he would be the first defensive tackle off the board. Because, again, where you're from, people could say it doesn't matter so much, but it matters so much. Because we could go right to running back, another position that there is no value in. And we could say if Pierre Strong played at Florida State, TCU was in my mind. I'm not going to lie. I was down to Oklahoma State, TCU, and Florida State there. If Pierre Strong played at Florida State, he's the first running back off the board. I truly believe that.
Here's another guy who I'll talk about later when we talk about our guys. If Khalil Shakir played for if Khalil Shakir played for USC, he is a top 20 pick.
Oh, easily.
Say you move Drake London to Miami, and then you put Khalil Shakir in Miami. Khalil Shakir in Miami, he's a top 20 pick.
I'm more inclined to agree with the SC part than the Miami part, but I obviously understand
the only reason I moved him is because of Drake London.
Yeah, I get that.
If Drake London was in Miami and then Khalil Shakir was SC, I'd still say
no love, no respect being shown for Charleston Rambo here.
Okay, well,
also
Charleston Rambo would look like a great second option.
All right. It's just wild for me to think that Trayvon Walker is going to be the number 1 pick. Guess how many tackles for loss he has in 2021?
Not many.
Yeah, not many is right. 7.5. 6 sacks. So, that right there tells you a lot.
If you watch his sacks, a lot of them, it's like the quarterback either making a bad decision and scrambling into his area, or it's like coverage sack, pretty much.
I wonder why. Maybe it's because that Georgia defensive front 7 and their secondary we were talking about was all time good. And now there's in athletic anomaly, we'll say him and Jordan Davis are athletic anomalies. Like they're absolute freaks of nature. But for Trayvon Walker, who I hadn't mocked in the first round the entire cycle, that goes back to like August. I have not once thought he was a first round pick, and I'm still not taking him in the first round just because of his combine. Nothing about him that I've previously thought has changed. I still think he's a second round pick. He's not a top 5 edge rusher for me. It is wild to me that we're 24 hours, literally like 24 hours away from the draft beginning, and Trayvon Walker will be the number 1 pick within 10 seconds of the draft starting. George Karlaftis is being talked about as a guy that could fall out of the first round. Make it make sense. Is it the Purdue logo on the helmet? Karlaftis is the next coming of the Greek freak, just on the gridiron. He's what, going to be a 21-year-old rookie with such innate power and explosiveness and speed off the edge that only has so much room to grow? Somewhere at the end of the first round, I don't know who you're mocking Karlaftis to. We'll find out very soon. But I have Karlaftis. I think Arizona's a strong fit. I have Karlaftis going to Kansas City at 29, though, and I think that's a heist.
Well, you talked about Arizona being a great fit. That's where I have him in my mock that's going to be released later today.
I don't know how you feel about, but I had Devontae Wyatt there.
I see. My problem is I'm forcing myself to overdraft Jordan Davis, where I'm afraid to take another defensive tackle.
Well, where'd you put Davis?
Baltimore.
Oh my gosh!
Like I hate the value. I hate the value so much.
I know.
Like a team
like
the Chargers. I want to say have a half decent second round pick. I'm going to scroll and check.
They have. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm sorry for like cutting into this real quick, but was looking for bets to take for what we'll talk about, and Daniel Bellinger played at Palo Verde High School, which is like 5 minutes from where Mr. Liam grew up. So local casino had a draft prop for him in addition to like other guys like Jordan Davis and Matt Corral and whatever. Daniel Bellinger has a draft prop. I go and see it's 123.5. The over is minus 130. I'm thinking, well, golly, I got to bet that over. I decided not to. I really should have, though. And I went to Tankathon, and I scrolled through teams to go try and find who had 123 or 124, pick around there just to see, because they don't go all the way to the fourth round Tankathon. I clicked on the Chargers first, and they had 123. So I know the Chargers have 123. I don't know about their other capital.
They do not have a second-round pick. After 17, They have to wait till 7.
Oh, yeah, Khalil Mack. I think they're okay.
Oh, yeah, they did trade for Khalil Mack, didn't they?
Yeah, that seems to get lost in this offseason.
Yeah, I mean, a defensive line with Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Bruin, and Devontae Wyatt. My gosh, even Bruin's going crazy.
Yeah, he is. But, I mean, Prime is right. They really do seem to like and love Walker's traits. But there needs to be a point where you stop drafting based on traits and you start drafting based on wanting to accumulate talent and field a roster that's ready to win. Golly, what are the Jaguars going to do with an edge rusher with traits? Bruin is adamant about this being awful too, so I'm going to let him out. But you talk.
Yeah, do that. I would personally take Trayvon Walker late in the first just because I do love his traits, but Liam's right. There is an extent to that entire argument. And I think that goes a little bit past the first overall pick. I mean, I think I have him as my 5th edge rusher right now.
Like, he's going over Kayvon. He's going over just Aiden Hutchinson. I'm not the biggest Hutchinson guy. I still have him as edge.
He's going over Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah, and I'm not like, oh my God.
And I'm a big Jermaine Johnson fan.
I'm kind of on the other side of that spectrum, but I do understand it. An older prospect who really didn't break out to his final year isn't really someone I'm going to really gush over. I understand the traits with Johnson and everything, but he's just another one of those prospects where I can't personally invest because of past history. It's an edge rusher who broke out in his senior season on his third school. Like, it's just not for me. He's going to be, 24?
I feel like there's a decent amount of prospects over the last few years that you could kind of make that argument for that saw success. I mean, Joe Burrow did not do anything at Ohio State. and then he went to LSU and
Okay, but that's quarterback.
I mean,
okay, he's 23. He'll be 24 in January.
Yeah, he'll be 24. But
In
I mean, if
I'll be
if
24 too eventually, and 29 and 38 and 73.
It's crazy to think that all these prospects are still older than me.
I mean, I really don't even think of it like that.
I mean, I'm 19, so I'm not draft eligible for 2 years.
It's crazy to think that there's people who are my age that are still going to be playing college football next year. Like, that's weird.
It's crazy to think that there are people my age playing college football.
I don't know, though, man. Like, like, I don't hate it as much at quarterback. It's more so about other positions, and
yeah, I mean,
it's just not something I'm thrilled about. And there's just so many other prospects I'd rather take than Jermaine Johnson. Again, Karlaftis comes to mind.
Yeah,
and just at other positions too. Like, sorry for cutting you off again, but Prime is here. He's a Jets fan. The Jets actually do what I think is the unthinkable, the unfathomable, and take Jermaine Johnson the second at 4th overall. It's time to pack up your bags and never be a Jets fan again.
I don't think he's going 4th overall. I'm gonna release my entire mock. I have to look across from my laptop so I can see my actual monitor. I'm 7 right now to the Giants, the other New York team.
You have Jermaine Johnson 7th?
He's a top 10 lock.
Like, that's crazy to me, though.
He's a top 10 lock. I have 4 edge rushers in the top 7.
So I worked around my mock because Ed Home let me know, like, straight up, don't do trades for your final mock that we're like releasing to get grade and everything. Like, don't do trades. So I switched up my mock because I had trades. I had Carolina moving down from 6 to 13 with Houston. Houston getting Thibodeau at 3, moving up to 6 to get Stingley or Sauce. No, Stingley. Yeah, like. No, it was. I don't remember. I think it was Sauce, actually.
I think they're gonna take Stingley at 3.
I don't. I have no clue what to think. I'm going with Kayvon, but in that mock, I had Jermaine Johnson at 9 to Seattle. I just don't understand Charles Cross at 9 at all. He doesn't fit in the slightest. So anybody mocking Cross there at 9, good luck to you. I have Jermaine Johnson 15th to Philly.
I just know he's a lock top 10. People have been saying there's people in the NFL that think he's the best pure pass rusher.
That's crazy. Yeah, I think
I honestly don't think it's that crazy.
To me, it's nuts. Like, I mean, I take Prime is right where I am.
I take Kayvon, and then I probably take Jermaine.
And so then we're actually differing.
Yeah, which is quite rare.
Yeah.
But it's good.
No, it is.
I mean, we also debated on Houston taking 2 corners in the top 7.
Look, that is more so of just Liam blueprint dreams. Like, goodness, oh my gosh, they take Kayvon this year and then Will Anderson next year, or they take Sauce at 3, trade up, get Stingley, work around that, your defense is set.
But then you're banking on every player to draft. You're banking on every player
draft. You're banking on every player you're drafting to hit anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, then you're giving up more capital, so you have less players that you're going to get out of drafts. Like, it's going to cost you a lot to move from 13 to 7, for example.
Possibly, yeah.
Like, that probably costs you, what, a second?
If it costs them a second to go and secure Derek Stingley, then they need to, like, that is a no-brainer. It would probably be 13.
37 is their second.
What's their other pick after that?
68, which is 3rd.
Okay, it would probably be 13, 68 or whatever you said, and then a second next year for 7 and probably like a 5th. I think that value aligns.
I think it aligns. I just think it's too much to move up to get a second corner.
That's fair. But
I think they're both great players,
in
but
my
I
brain,
would.
they are allowing 7 passing yards a game.
But okay, but say you get Kayvon at 3, and then you trade up and get Stingley or Sauce at 7.
Yeah, I'm all for that. And I like that was in my scenario too. There are multiple scenarios with Houston that I'm all for. I am all for Kayvon at 3, moving up to 6 or 7 to get Sauce or Stingley, and then next year, hopefully the Browns stink. Yeah, get Will Anderson. Now you have Will Anderson and Kayvon with Sauce or Stingley. Like, okay, well, let's not. Redacted's a little overrated if we're going to be honest.
Oh.
Redacted is a little overrated if we're going to be quite honest. And maybe that'll show this year. But
Redacted's a top 5 quarterback.
All right, I'll let you talk about that. Or no, I'll let you say that. I don't want to talk about Redacted anymore. I don't like the guy at all. But look, Kayvon, Will Anderson with Sauce or Stingley, and then maybe you're able to get Jordan Addison too, who could be the third receiver off the board. Possibly. Because it's JSN, Boutte, and Addison are your top 3. Think about that. I'm sorry for looking ahead 2023, but oh my gosh, the 2023 receiver classes, JSN, Keyshawn Boutte, and Jordan Addison, who are all going to be elite wide receiver prospects entering their rookie seasons at 21.
I mean, I would love for Keyshawn to have a healthy season after last year. He's freaking insane. I mean, they're all insane. Like that's probably
special in their own way.
Like that would that be the best top of the class we've seen in quite some time?
I would argue that those 3 create the best receiver class. Like those 3 create the best top 3 receiver that possibly we've ever seen, because the Judy CD class was up there too, and this is miles better, I think.
Okay.
Not miles. This is special.
What I'll say for the 2020 class, I'm not going to put Jefferson in it because he wasn't considered.
He wasn't considered
as top 3. He some people thought he was 4 or 5. It was like Ruggs, Lamb, and Judy for that year. Last year, not really, because it was just Chase, and then you had like Waddle, who was really good, Devontae, who was slightly less
that lower fit reeks.
Yeah, I mean, like Keyshawn, JSN, and Jordan Addison. My freaking gosh!
Like that is, that has to be the best.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of anything better in recent history.
I can imagine having JSN and Jordan Addison on your campus to Canton fantasy team. That could be me and my good friend Brody Jenner.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
All right. Speaking of, do you want to move on to some of the topics we have?
Yeah. Well, I'll go with comments too. D909, good friend over on the Twitch. Matthew Townsend, Transfer Portal CFB draft analyst. That guy has been dotting mocks for like 3 years. This is the first time he's got the main stage, because the Transfer Portal CFB is the biggest platform possible. But Matt's been dotting his mock drafts, and I'm excited to see how he does. Speaking to my mock too, releasing it at midnight.
Why?
Midnight mock draft. Who else is going to compete with us when we tweet it out at midnight? Banking on some draft-hungry fans that are staying up late and want to read some content real late.
I will be.
There's no way. Exactly. There's no way. There's no. It's also midnight Pacific, but.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely not gonna be up.
Yeah, you're gonna be asleep. So when you wake up at 5 a.m., like, read the morning paper. It's the Liam midnight mock draft.
Do people still read the paper?
I was just on the phone with my grandpa about 30 minutes ago, and he asked if I read the paper.
Okay. Well, does anybody in our generation read the paper?
No. But
we get our news from social media.
His mock draft is final. It's also on our website. We're not doing trades in our final technically on our website. So he has a Houston-Pittsburgh trade. I completely disagree with who the Texans are taking. He had Texans taking Ritter at 20. Now they're taking Pickett at 13. I don't know why. I disagree. But if Pickett just goes in that range, then he hits well. So, but going to prime.
Since we're on defense, who is the edge guy that you have first round grade on who you think will fall into day 2? Do you mind if I take this one?
Yeah.
I just think someone is going to love David Ojabo so much they're going to overlook the Achilles injury. I'm looking at Kansas City for this one, which may cause Boye Mafe to fall into the early second round.
I agree with that. I didn't have Boye in my first round either. He just fell out of the cards because of Karloftis' drop.
Yeah,
and guys like Dax Hill and Logan Hall ascending.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I would take Boye over Logan, but it's also a different position.
So would I, but I went Tampa Bay, Logan Hall. The kind of the versatility on the defensive line could help them. Maybe get some defensive tackle reps and Vea's out, play defensive end. Teams love his traits. He's just trending up, so I think he'll end up going in the first.
Sorry, I'm looking at some draft props because that actually is a topic we're going to talk about, and I just see something that's kind of weird.
What? Go right into it.
It's Ike Makwono's draft position is 4.5 right now, and the under 4.5, which would mean he's likely going to the Jets at 4, is minus 160.
What's your take on that?
I don't know how much I believe the Mekhi Becton rumors, if they're going to trade him, because he's a great tackle when he's healthy, but it doesn't seem like right now he can keep weight, which is a big problem.
I love Becton.
I love Becton
wish
too.
he could have panned out. He still can.
He still can, but he's, I don't know, maybe he just needs a change of scenery.
He won't want, he wants to be a Jet.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to play there for his entire career, and I don't know. I
don't know. I mean, I'm also looking. Jermaine Johnson under 9.5 is minus 145.
Yeah. I'm just not moving Becton. I'll take Ekwonu, and I'll have Ekwonu and Becton on my offensive line. Fant could be the odd man out. Ekwonu could play guard if need be. Figure stuff out. I think Ekwonu is going to be the pick at 4.
Also, I see one I love. We're going to talk about some props we love.
Just go for it.
Kyle Hamilton under 12.5 seems like the freest thing of all time.
Where do you have him?
I have him Washington 11, but even if he falls past there, if Washington either trades back or takes a receiver like Olave, well, Minnesota's right there. Minnesota
have to take
Kyle Hamilton.
They have to take him.
I wouldn't say they have to take him, but
they have to satisfy fans by taking them. I don't know. Just the thought of 2 Notre Dame guys right there. Harrison Smith passes the baton on.
A lot of Minnesota fans do want Kyle Hamilton, but a lot of them also want Jameson.
Yeah, and now let's just see. They're not getting Sauce or Stanley, so their cornerback dream is gone. You want them to take Jameson real bad, even though you want to inflict pain on yourself as a Packers fan, I guess.
Well, I mean, as a Packers fan, I would hate it. I want them to take Jack Cohn at 12.
Ooh, that's a heck of a pick.
As a football fan, I want to see Justin Jefferson and James Williams on the same team.
I think Walter Football actually might have Jack Cohn at 12, so that could happen.
You know what? According to one dude in a Twitter space, very credible source.
Gosh, I can't believe that. I have Kyle Hamilton 12 for what it's worth. I think they'll roll with Harrison Smith passing the keys of the defense onto him. I have Jameson 10 to the Jets. That's my Jets haul is Ekwonu at 4 and Jameson at 10. I think the Jets are going to bite the bullet on having to take a receiver there after they've failed how many times on acquiring one in the last few months. I think they're just going to take JMO and Elijah Moore. Dude, JMO and Elijah Moore, like that, if that's your consolation prize to not being able to acquire one of the big name receivers this offseason, you're okay.
Yeah, you're completely fine. I'm also looking. Oh, wow. So, sorry, I keep on interrupting with these draft props as I'm scrolling.
Just keep going.
So, Charles Cross and Garrett Wilson to be drafted first. Cross is minus 240.
Hey, that all depends, I think. That all depends on Carolina at 6. Because I don't see the Giants doing it.
No, I think the Giants are taking Ekwonu.
Who do you have to the Jets at 4? Oh.
Kayvon.
Oh, and you have Stingley 3.
I have Stingley 3, Kayvon 4, and then the other Jets pick is, as much as I hate it, Drake London at 10.
Garrett Wilson prime. I have Garrett Wilson going 8th to Atlanta. JMO would be second receiver off the board. A lot of teams picking up there. Teams don't really care about the ACL right now as much. You sit them for a few games, whatever. Like Andrew said, you're thinking about the next 8 years, not the first 8 games with JMO.
Yeah. Shout out John Rivers.
Did he say that?
We had a Twitter conversation, and one of us said it. I don't remember. It was like 2 weeks ago or something.
I don't know. I can't see the Giants taking Cross because
don't really fit the.
I think it's going to be between Evan Neal and Cross for them, and I think they're just going to have to go with Neal. He's just the flat-out better player all around right now. He's going to start from day one. He is one heck of a player. Really hate seeing a day before the draft, he's got injury concerns now. Like, come on. Are we buying into that stuff when a prospect gets injury concerns released and these red flags out of nowhere the day before the draft? Like, this happens so much. It happened to JOK. Tell me right now JOK shouldn't have been a first-round pick. Like, what?
Should have easily. I mean, the fact that John Davis went ahead of him, my gosh. Like, I didn't hate John Davis, but JOK, he was more than just JOK.
Hello, new Andrew. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, you're going to take my place now. I have to.
Yeah, you're actually done. But, like, for real, Benjamin Albright, who's been dotting mocks, too, the last few years, like, he's one of the top 10 most accurate, he's got Evan Neal 16th.
That's way too freaking far.
I cannot see that. I don't live in that world. In a draft where so many people believe that it's a fairly weak class, one of the best players in the draft, two of the best players in the draft, because I'll now include Kayvon, cannot fall out of the top 5. Cannot fall out of the top 7. Evan Neal can't fall out of the top 10. He can't go after 5. There's no way the Giants will take him at 5. I think the Giants haul is Evan Neal and Sauce at 7.
I think the Giants could take Ecom over Evan Neal, which I
just don't think he's there.
You think he goes 3?
I truly believe that this Jet stuff is smoke. I can't see them taking Sauce at 4. I'm not buying Jermaine Johnson 4th overall, and I don't think they're all for Kayvon. So I think Equan is the guy, and he's going to be there at 4. And that's just the Joe Douglas pick.
I think that there's a better chance that one of the top 3 tackles is at 10 than one of Kayvon or Jermaine Johnson being at 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of what they have to. Yeah, that's why I think that they go edge rusher if they don't go corner at 10, which I don't think Sauce falls that far.
That is wild though. That crosses with whatever odds you say. I can't think, but please, if you're watching,
minus 220.
That's
minus 240 to be drafted ahead of Garrett Wilson. I would definitely take the Garrett Wilson prop because
Garrett Wilson's also live to go 7 to New York. By the way, like let's not overlook that.
Yeah,
Kadarius Toney, that relationship is not good. Shocker, I know, crazy. That relationship there with the Giants between those two parties is not good. They could really use a great wideout too. You put Garrett Wilson there, 2023. Garrett Wilson, after a productive rookie season, is adamant about adding CJ Stroud to the Giants.
Yeah, the Giants are just in such a messed up spot. If they find a way to mess up having 2 top 7 picks, I mean, it just looks so bad for them. Mm-hmm. Let's take some of these questions in the comments because there's actually a few of these I do want to talk about.
Go ahead.
If by a miracle all the quarterbacks hit their ceilings, who will be QB1, and why is the answer Malik Willis? Because it's not Carson Strong. Malik Willis, easily. There's no question.
Yeah, I mean, if Malik Willis hits his ceiling, he's QB1. If Carson Strong hits his ceiling, he's QB2.
Yeah. I mean,
Carson Strong's going to win a Super Bowl one day. Sure, he might be on the practice squad, but he's getting it done.
no, Carson Strong, I think, can be an NFL starter. I don't know. There's some things that make me a little worried. But,
Cam Newt, a.k.a. Cam Newton.
Yo, what's up, Cam? Big fan.
Ace Boogie. That's a reference you might not get.
I don't.
Oh my, you're such a zoomer. Ace Boogie was his like Xbox gamer tag. Like,
sorry,
back,
I don't know NFL players' Xbox gamer.
Well, it was kind of a known thing. I don't know. It was like kind of part of them. I don't know. It was kind of a really known thing. But anyway, McDuffie or Booth?
McDuffie. Much better than run support.
Also on McDuffie, I like his versatility a lot more. Just a tough, hard-nosed kid. That he was really good in physical and coverage too, but his run support just helps him out with value so much. He's the best run supporting defensive. He's the best run supporting corner in the class, and he'll get down there in the trenches, not afraid to make a play. I don't know where you have him. I think Baltimore is his spot. He just screams Ravens to me.
I have him after Baltimore. That's one pick after Philly.
Okay, that's another possible spot.
Yeah. If the Giants took Cross over Neal, I just told them the fans would ride outside Gettleman's home. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't look great. But also, I don't think Gettleman's doing this draft.
He's not.
Yeah, isn't it Shane?
Yeah, Gettleman ain't there, but regardless. Cross.
You started this, Gettleman.
Exactly. Cross can.
But you started it.
Gettleman will find a way to be blamed for anything, even if it's a Giants draft in 2029. But Cross, literally, I think there is going to be a little dip in Cross's stock tomorrow night because he is kind of right now. He's amazing at what he does, and it's pass blocking. He has a good ways to go in the run blocking game, and there's some teams up there that I don't know. The Seahawks can't take him, and they could really benefit from an offensive lineman. I don't love the fit in Baltimore at all. I think New Orleans could trade up for him. He's just he's going to be dependent, I think, on the scheme, and that's going to hurt him a decent bit, possibly. Mike Leach product.
I mean, I have him right now 13 to Houston.
That's where I have him as well.
Okay. Yeah, I think Houston is really the first realistic spot if I can find my cursor so I can scroll up.
Unless New Orleans moves up to like 11 to Washington in the Olave trade.
Do you think the Jets would take him at 10?
Maybe.
If the stuff about Mekhi Becton is true and he does get moved, I think they would take Cross at 10 if he was there. But at the same time,
that's a good point.
I also think that they may reach for a tackle at 4 if that happens, just so they know that they get someone they like, and then maybe move up from 10 to like 7. Or not 7.
There is no way. That's interesting to think about. That's interesting to think about because if Cross is there at 10 and they're taking him at 10, then it's likely that they did not take a Kwanu at 4. If they want Cross at 10, then they would find he would probably be higher on their board than Kwanu, and they would find a way to get him rather than Kwanu. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Then there's also that part of me. We're giving Seattle too much credit for like not making a bad decision.
Yeah.
Seattle could mess this up so badly that we just laugh at them like we always do.
Drew Lock gets his pass protecting cornerstone tackle.
Congratulations, you protected Drew Lock.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of teams that could do a lot of bad.
Do you know who could honestly do so much bad that we're not freaking talking about?
Can I take
the Texans. Okay, well, you said as soon as I said it. The Texans could suck so much at this draft. They could mess this up. Like, say they take... Okay. Jermaine Johnson at 3 would be a bad pick. It would be an awful pick. Because Kayvon would be on the board.
So bad.
And then at 13, what if they took Trevor Penning? That would suck.
That is one of the true all-time disappointing drafts I have ever heard.
Yeah, I mean,
And then want to follow it up, Breece Hall at 37.
I wouldn't hate that.
After taking Jermaine Johnson at 3 and Penning at 13, please factor those 2 picks in.
No, I would hate the Hall, but I don't hate Breece Hall at 37. Like the solo pick, I don't hate Hall at 37. I think he's a great running back. He's the best running back in this class, in my opinion. I know you love Pierre Strong, who's also in my top.
I just hate that Pierre's 43 years old.
Yeah, not ideal, but some things you can't control, and time is one of them.
What you can't control is I'm just looking at my slips right now. Well, one of them I bet, but the other one I didn't bet. It was Charles Cross over 6 minus 129.
Oh, that's freaking beautiful.
So, yeah, you have I might bet that tonight because you have the safe spot at 6 with a push. If Carolina does take them, you're really just banking on New York not to take them at 4 or 5.
Either of the New Yorks, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, not that the Giants should take him. I'm pretty sure Charles Robinson said they love Evan Neal. So,
want to talk about more gambles?
Let's talk about more gambles.
Risks. Like player risks.
Well, do you mind if I make 2 more bets and then I'll
save them for later. Well,
they're the same thing technically.
Oh.
Okay. Stingley to be the first corner plus 125. I love it. He's going to the Texans. And then Stingley going 3rd overall is plus 175. If you're betting Stingley first corner, you might as well take that one too. And then I also think because of that, Sauce goes over 5.5 plus 120.
And Drewster, this guy's a sharp, apparently. I'll go with mine too. I saw this number at 17.5. I see it at 15.5. I've seen it at 16.5. I got it at over 14.5. Minus 130 odds. Trevor Penning over 14.5.
I mean, that's just freaking beautiful.
If he goes 14 to Baltimore, I will not be a happy guy on tomorrow's stream.
If he goes 14 to Baltimore, they have bigger problems than your bets.
But I have bigger problems than their atrocity of a pick.
I mean, okay, I know I've talked a lot about me not liking Penning. What do you think of him?
Like, I think he's a great second round pick. A tenacious, mauling run blocker that has potential to do good in pass blocking. There's just technique issues that you gotta fix, like the hand placement and everything. I'm tripping on how old he is. Can you tell me? Was he 22?
I think he's 23.
Okay.
I'm checking right now if I can find his DOT.
23-year-old rookie sounds right.
I'm checking right now. Trevor Penning going into Bing. Who would have his date of birth?
Are you
draft number?
How about this? Just search Trevor Penning age. That's all you have to do.
I probably could have done that instead of just searching.
22 years old. He turns 23 in May. Dots from me. Absolute lasers. You're getting a 23-year-old rookie who shows great psychoticness that a lot of NFL teams are going to want to have on their team because he is a psycho. Like, he is a madman, and you want that on your team. Dan Campbell would love to have this guy on his offensive line. He would love to just talk football and horror movies with him every week. I think he's a great run blocker.
Great run blocker. I don't like him as a pass blocker. Trevor Penning, he watches horror movies not to get himself hyped up, but he watches them to take notes on Jason.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Trevor Penning doesn't watch movies to not get scared. He watches them to take notes on the killers because he wants to kill his matchup.
I think I have a really good idea on the fly. Transfer Portal CFB game night. Let's play Friday the 13th, and let's invite Trevor Penning.
You know what? I'm just not buying Friday the 13th. That game is awful.
All right, Transfer Portal CFB game night. Let's play Among Us, and let's invite Trevor Penning.
You really had to bring Among Us into this.
I mean, what do you want me to say, man?
I don't know, Clue?
Yeah, because Clue is a game where people kill.
Yes!
Yeah, but it's not like the action of like an Among Us guy slicing another.
Okay, Trevor
goat.
Penning used the pipe in the kitchen.
Liam Blutman warned you all months ago that Bernard Ryman is a terrible first-round option, while PFF told you all that he's a top 10 pick. So
I wouldn't like him as a second rounder.
Why? Like there is zero intrigue to this guy.
I mean, he is a developmental prospect that's 25. No.
Yeah, developmental prospect, great success story, securing the bag, good for him and his family. 25-year-old developmental prospect that most recently started playing tackle, has so much to work on. You're hoping you have a, 27, 28-year-old close to finished product?
No, he's a guy that a losing franchise is going to risk that they can develop him quickly to help protect a young quarterback. That's my prediction for Bernard Ryman. He's going to go mid-second round to a losing franchise that has a young quarterback. Like Chicago's not going to take a tackle with their first pick, but I'm just going to use them as an example. Chicago, don't take Bernard Ryman, but if you were to take Bernard Ryman, that would be what I would expect out of you. Because you suck as a franchise, you have a young quarterback that you're really worried won't develop, and you have a first-time head coach who is going to be in his first draft as a head coach.
And first-time GM. I'll give you a scenario.
All right, let's see this.
Bernard Ryman, 33rd overall to the Jaguars. You can see that happening.
No.
You can see it happening too.
No. Yes, but no.
So bad.
No. Okay. If Trent Bulk, you moron. First off, you're going to take Trevon Walker 1. Massive mistake. If you take Bernard Ryman 33, I'm going to take the next flight down to Jacksonville and apply for your job, because you're going to lose your job if you take Bernard Ryman 33.
I love when people will talk to us and other people who do this, and they're like, there's a reason you're not in this guy's seat. There's a reason you're not in the front office. Yeah, there is a reason I'm not in the front office, because I'm not like a plant that's going to take Trayvon Walker at 1 and Bernard Ryman at 33. I'm not like I wasn't planted by Roger Goodell. I'm sorry.
You know why I'm not in an NFL front office right now? Because I'm 19. I can't legally drink.
Whiz kid. Should teams who take running backs in the first round be eaten by the earth, never to be seen again? I think they're getting off easy.
Yeah, I mean, launch them to space.
Not a space guy.
Would you rather get eaten by the earth or get launched into the galaxy, and you just have to sit there for the rest of eternity? You can
eaten by the earth.
Just
getting eaten by the earth. You would just fall down into the dirt and everything under us, and then you don't have to travel far to space, and then maybe the dirt has chompy teeth. It'd be like Mario. You'd see the piranha, not the piranhas, the plant, but I can't.
Where are you going with this?
I don't know. You'd see the green pipes in Mario. I don't know. It'd be.
What?
That's what's going to happen to a team that takes Bernard Ryman.
You know what? Enough with draft gambles. Who are your guys, Liam?
Yeah, my guys, first off, straight up, both of us are guys. I'm not even going to list them here. He might, though. Khalil Shakir. What a player.
Hit the like button.
Yeah, please subscribe, all that stuff, and come back to us when Khalil Shakir showcases his great route running ability in the NFL, sure-handedness, vertical threat, everything. Shakir is a monster. I would love to see him in San Francisco, especially if Devo's gone. Sign me up for Khalil Shakir in San Francisco working with Trey Lance. I think Shakir is a fantastic player with really good upside. I don't think he should be going in the middle of the second round, late second round, but
middle of the first.
Yeah, Pierre Strong, obviously one of my guys. We know that. That's evident. I think he's the best running back in the class. If he was, in my opinion, he was a top 3 running back in all of college football last year. Him, Bijan Robinson, and Travion Henderson, and Kenneth Walker too. So like 4. Those 4, I think, were in the upper echelon. Pierre Strong plays at Florida State. Like I said, he's first running back off the board. Tremendous cutting ability, decisiveness. Pad level is insane. If you watch him play, you'll know this guy is an NFL back. Also, you need a quarterback. Maybe Detroit's looking for the heir to Jared Goff. 9 for 9 passing in his career for like a few touchdowns. So Pierre Strong can do it. Verone McKinley, just dropped a video on him. Go watch that, please. I'll speak real quickly through these. Really versatile safety. Tremendous player. Brilliant IQ. I think you're basically getting an on-field coach. He wants to be in sports media after his career is over and do like analysis and stuff. I think he's going to be a coach in college or NFL. I think he's that bright. Jeffrey Gunter and Joshua Williams, 2 guys from Carolina schools that we had the pleasure of interviewing. Please go watch those interviews. Tremendous people, really fun, funny personalities, really good dudes, really undervalued players. Jeffrey Gunter has supreme traits that should be bet. I mean, both of them had supreme traits that should be bet on day 3. Like, they're both really good players. Go ahead.
I would say Josh Williams day 2.
I would take both of them in the late 3rd. Like, Jeffrey Gunter's pass rushing upside with his motor and his speed and his power, he's worth taking.
Yeah, I would take Joshua Williams probably early 3rd, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm with it.
And probably close to the same with Gunter.
Yeah,
he's so freaking good.
It's very rare that a player like Joshua Williams, who is coming from a D2 HBCU, will have built up a reputation like he has. Yeah. He has built up an insane profile and kind of a cult following, and he's gotten a lot of respect from a lot of draft analysts. Like, if we had to have 5 winners of the draft process, he's
number 1.
Trayvon Walker's number 1. Williams is 2.
Trayvon Walker made
yeah, exactly.
But money's important, but you know what's important to me? Heart. Joshua Williams has heart. Now, not saying Trayvon Walker doesn't. I'm trying to dig myself out of a ditch, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and then my other guy, Carson Strong, just kind of tough to talk about after a mediocre pre-draft process that I wasn't foreseeing.
Liam.
What?
I would say less than that.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good for a lot of quarterbacks, but I still think with his arm and there's stuff that you're wanting to bet on.
Oh, of course.
Indianapolis maybe takes him in the 3rd. Like Matt Ryan, I think Matt Ryan, again, is as good as cooked. I don't think Matt Ryan is a good product anymore.
See, the problem with Indianapolis for me is they take these young quarterbacks that have the traits you want. They just never give them a chance.
Oh, they are horrible at developing.
It happened with Jacob Eason. Jacob Eason was a great prospect. He got taken in the 4th round by Indianapolis, never got a shot.
Yeah. They don't develop quarterbacks well at all, and they just give up on them without really giving them a shot. Eason, if I remember correctly, played pretty dang solid in preseason and outperformed the other guy he was battling.
I want to say it was the opposite.
I think Eason played well.
I think Eason had a game with like 2 picks.
No, I don't know. The one I'm thinking of, they were at home, and I think he played fairly well.
I think he played 2 games. One of them he was good. One of them he was not ideal.
Dang, sounds like a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, it almost seems like 95% of them, outside of the ones who can't throw a good ball and outside the ones who throw every ball that's good.
We'll get to your guys in a second.
Yeah, I put this question up like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, go Prime right now.
All right, who's the wide receiver you like the least or has the most holes in their game that is projected in the 1st round, Liam? I think I know yours.
I think I know yours. Yours is Treylon.
Yours is Drake.
Yeah.
Treylon
and Drake. Drake and Treylon.
Great TV show. Drake and Burks.
Yeah, Drake and
Not
Burks.
as good as Boy Meets World.
Okay, you only said that because Marky's watching. Suck up.
Wait, he's watching?
Yeah, you hear him laughing downstairs.
It's my favorite TV show. Come on, I'm trying to give it credit.
Suck up. I think it Ryan suck up. I think it's
Oh no, that was bad. No,
it was bad on purpose.
Bad.
Look, I think that
it's not bad.
I know it's bad. I think it truly is Drake London, and you're taking a big. I don't think he's as good of a route runner as people are saying he is. I really don't see that. He's a very good contested catcher. Uses his large frame to bully college dudes. Like, I don't know. It is eerily similar to J-Jaw. I like J-Jaw a lot. This is eerily similar to J-Jaw for me. And so maybe it's just the PTSD kicking in. But, dude, this, and then N'Keal Harry, too. Like, and hey, Pac-12. I don't know. Yeah. There are literally underlying metrics that our good friend Sire found months ago that connect Drake London. They put Drake London in the same room as N'Keal Harry and J-Jaw and JJ Arcega-Whiteside. They put him in the same room, the top three of like highest contested catch rate among like top receiver prospects in the last whatever amount of years. Like, it's scary. And then fourth is Jalen Reagor. So Drake London is third. Jalen Reagor's fourth. So take that for what it's worth. There is serious bust potential with both Burks and London. I like Burks, but there is both bust potential with both of them. I'm scared of Drake London.
I will say, if Jalen Reagor's fourth, I think we need to love Drake London.
No, you would. Why? Because N'Keal Harry is like two. J-Jaw's one.
I'm making a joke. How we both loved Jalen Reagor.
Yeah. Look, it goes to show that like we're always learning and stuff. It goes to show I liked Reagor, you liked Reagor, I liked J-Jaw, I liked N'Keal Harry. All three of those guys.
I'll say that.
All three of those guys straight up stinky.
Drake London opinion on
is Drake London going to be straight up stinky?
I will say, I agree with you on route running, but I think there's a difference between route running and separating to an extent. I think London's a better separator than he is a route runner, obviously because he is able to use his large frame. The thing with Burks for me is I don't hate him. Like, I think he's a good prospect. I just think there's too much there that I'm worried about compared to the other prospects that are in the first. I'm not worried at all about Wilson Olave or even like Christian Watson, who's not really a projected first, but he could go in the first. I see the traits there that I'm going to bank on. With Burks, less athleticism, even though he is 6'3" and he does have, he's not slow by any means. Not a great separator. I don't care for him.
The AJ Brown comps, by the way.
It makes he's 6'3" and he can catch a deep ball. He's AJ Brown. No, he's not. They play completely different. They play completely different. It makes no sense. Yes, he has large hands. That's what a lot of people talk about. If you looked at the combine measurements, at the Senior Bowl measurements, he honestly didn't have the largest hands. I want to say.
I know, that's so weird. Like, was he just wearing bigger gloves than he needed to at Arkansas?
He wore 3X gloves, and I want to say his hands were 9.75, 9.8.
He has the same size hands as Kane. Well, he doesn't. But,
no.
He doesn't, but they did both lose the hand measurement game.
They did. I mean, that was Treylon's biggest known feature about him going into the pre-draft process for people that hadn't watched him at Arkansas. They knew, this dude's got massive hands. Well, not really. I mean, Christian Watson, I want to say, had 10 1/4, which if you think about how large a hand is, take a Subway foot-long sandwich. Christian Watson's hand is close to that big.
Sure.
I mean, 10.5 out of aren't Subway sandwiches like only 11 inches? Or
I don't eat there.
Me neither, but I'm making a reference.
$5.
$5.
Go contact your local sandwich
$5 foot long. Any.
Dude, I kept giving you the
Give me the beat.
song.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not doing that though. But no, like I don't know. How long was I just hammering the fact that AJ Brown is a top 5 receiver in this league, or a top 7, like whatever he is.
Yeah,
Like
I'm more top 7, 8.
Yeah, I've been there for years, pounding the table that that's true. With Garrett Wilson after his freshman season, I say straight up, this guy is on his way to being a top 5 receiver in the NFL. Will that hold true? I don't know. The spot plays a big role in that. I think he is amazing enough to do it, though. I love that dude. His juice. Golly, Garrett Wilson's juice. He is smooth as silk. But what was I going to say? Oh, Olave? I don't think we live in a world where Olave becomes a bad player. I think at worst he's a very solid contributor. Like he's going to have a positive impact nearly.
Worst case scenario, he's a 700-yard a year.
Yeah, like he's going to be a really sound player at the worst. He's going to be a really good.
But at the same time, I also don't think he's a guy that's going to like explode.
No, I think he is what he is.
You're drafting stability. Really, you're drafting stability and
consistency.
Consistency. That's the other word I'm thinking of. You're drafting. They don't play alike, but you're drafting someone that's kind of like Keenan Allen.
Yeah. Like Olave is going to win a lot. Quarterbacks are going to want him on their team. Quarterbacks are going to want Olave on their team so bad. And maybe, you see his stock. His stock has risen in the last few weeks. He wasn't even the first round for a lot of people like 2-3 weeks ago. I have him going 11th to the Commies.
The Commies, okay. I have him where the heck? I think I have him 16 to New Orleans right now.
Which is the exact sweet spot, I think, too, because I think those two teams can make a trade.
That's his draft prop.
Yeah.
It's 16. It's just 16 flat. Before I had to change it for the trades, I had Green Bay moving up to 16.
Like I think he'll go 11 to the Commies, or I think he'll go 16 to the Commies. I think he goes right in that range to the Commies.
If Kyle Hamilton falls to 11,
I don't think they would do it. I honestly don't think they would do it.
The reason I still think Kyle Hamilton is because there is that depth at wide receiver. That they're really – there's depth at safety.
It's not depth. It is not depth. And if I'm Carson Wentz, I am begging to get another receiver on that team because I don't want –
Carson Wentz cannot talk about anything.
Oh, he could talk because I would talk too if I was him because I don't want, no offense to Curtis Samuel, I don't want that guy as my WR2.
Whoa, Curtis Samuel's good.
Is he? And is he ever healthy?
He was injured. If he's healthy, he's
good
receiver. He's
been injured his entire career. So, Curtis Samuel's career has been hurt. This guy could be good, when he actually finally plays. And, no, he is a good option for, a third guy. Get him touches in any way you can. I like him. He's got decent, he's a solid player. He's not WR2. The Washington Commies could go out there, have McLaurin, Olave, Samuel, 3 generations of Ohio State. And they love the Ohio State pipeline. And Ron Rivera was at Ohio State Pro Day. That tells me all I need to know.
You know who else is a big Ohio State guy? John Keim. Make sure to go watch our John Keim interview that we have on the YouTube channel.
Hashtag
great plug. That was, you know what?
That was immaculate.
I'm giving myself a golf clap.
I won't clap, but John Keim is great, and he fed us some really good info about the Commanders draft, including Hamilton and Olave takes.
The thing I will say is if the Commanders are very wanting that larger safety that John was talking about, you're really picking at straws after
it has to be Weatherford.
It would have to be Weatherford, but you're also risking the fact that he might not be there at he'll probably be there at 113.
He has to be there at 113.
Yeah, or he won't be there at 189.
Maybe Jaquan Brisker at 47. Maybe they don't really have the capital. I don't either. They don't really have the capital to move up and get him.
Unless they use next year's capital, which I would not be a fan of.
They should not do. But that'd be the guy to go out and get.
I think
they
go receiver, they go safety, and they could probably use some depth at corner.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's another position where, say, 113, that is 4th round.
Yes.
I mean, if Joshua Williams is there, my gosh.
The pick is in for the Commanders. Joshua Williams grew up a fan of the football team. Also, our good friend Obeid. He might be your biggest hater. He says who beats the Pickett the Burks duo.
I like Pickett.
Yeah, who beats this duo? New Orleans Saints, Pickett the Burks.
I mean, Malik Willis to Khalil Shakir.
Okay, you're supposed to just make the guy feel happy. Say nobody beats Pickett to Burks.
I'm not in the business of making people happy. I'm in the business of making people informed.
All right. Well, see, I've already informed Obeid that I have Jordan Davis going 16th.
This is me.
The Saints.
This is me.
Jordan Davis.
Yes, I have that as a prop.
Saints. That's tough. But, Peter Schrager says the Falcons could just as easily take Thibodeau or Jermaine Johnson II as opposed to a receiver at 8. Well,
I don't think either are going to be there.
Look, Thibodeau shouldn't be there. If you have your choice of Jermaine Johnson II and Garrett Wilson, and even Derek Stingley / Sauce, and you're taking Jermaine Johnson over those guys, there's a reason you're a defunct franchise, a dysfunctional franchise.
I just think they're so heavy on wide receiver right now. I don't think there's any chance they don't. Unless
they're set at receiver for sure.
No, I'm saying they're set at taking a receiver.
No, I know, but they're like set at receiver. Like they're
set at sucking.
The thing is too, I love Zacchaeus a lot. I loved him as a prospect, undervalued in my opinion. And why on earth is he the WR1 right now? They need to go hit a parlay with receivers in this draft. Go get Garrett Wilson. Go get Khalil Shakir. Take the gamble on these guys. Take the gamble next year of adding Bryce Young to your roster because I think that's who they'll be infatuated with.
Are you done making gambling jokes?
Trevor Penning over 14.5. Straight cash, homie. Pickett does when he sails a ball 5 feet over Burke's head or throws a fluttering pass into the dirt.
Yeah. He's not going to have Jordan Addison. It's going to suck.
Poor guy.
I mean, I still like Kenny Pickett. He's still my QB too, but it's like, I think it's just I'm so freaking high on Malik Willis. Like, I know a lot of people say they don't have a round 1 grade on any quarterback. I definitely have one on Malik Willis.
I don't see how you can't have a round 1 grade on Malik Willis.
I have
just telling on yourselves of you though, because you straight up are saying, one, you don't understand the upside, you don't understand what quarterbacks are drafted on, and you don't understand the value of taking a quarterback.
Yeah. Like, I mean, okay. I will say when grading a prospect, I don't take value into account. I just talk about the actual player. Like,
yeah, but you have to for quarterback.
Yeah, like Malik Willis at the first overall pick is bad value. Not that Jacksonville's going to take him, but him at 20 is great value, in my opinion.
If Urban Meyer was still on this franchise, he takes Malik Willis at 1 and he changes Malik's position.
No, I think he makes Trevor Lawrence a tight end.
I think he makes Lawrence a tight end, Willis an H-back to replicate some of the things his Ohio State
DTN's the wild-type quarterback?
No, Tebow's the quarterback.
See, I think Tebow's the tackle.
No, Tebow's the quarterback.
No, he's
243 spring training average or whatever.
Better than I could do.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it?
I couldn't
talk about your guys. I want to talk about your batting cage expertise.
Yeah, Tebow's the fullback. Yes, Tebow's the fullback, and then Travis Etienne's the wildcat quarterback. Well, I mean, we kind of already talked about it. Khalil Shakir is just so far my guy that it's kind of tough to think of anyone else in his vicinity. I love Jalen Petrie, the safety out of Baylor. What?
Do we have a video on Shakir coming out?
We will try, but I also have another. Bro, I tried to do it last night. There were reasons I couldn't get it done last night that I let you know of.
Yep.
Sorry, my basement started to flood.
Yep. Yep. You need to look. You're now better off getting the video after the draft and saying why the team here, why insert team here got an absolute heist and collusion.
Yeah, I'll just do that.
What does this mean?
But great stream an hour ago.
What does this mean?
I don't know. You know what? Taking a
We've
stride.
been live for an hour 10 though, but appreciate you anyway, Lion Rumble.
Love Jalen Petrie, the safety out of Baylor. I think he's an amazing slot defender. He could end up playing safety. He's the most versatile safety, in my opinion. I think you could also look at that being Dax Hill, but I just love Jalen Petrie that much. Let's bring this up. He's just saying he's late, Liam. Lions taking secondary.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Liam's not the brightest. Lions take. You're acting like I'm wrong. Lions taking secondary or edge. What are your thoughts and why? Blutman?
I mean, edge is happening. Like, there's no question about that.
It's just a matter of who.
It's Aiden Hutchinson. If Trayvon Walker goes 1, the Lions just got Aiden Hutchinson. If Aiden Hutchinson went 1, the Lions just got Kayvon Thibodeau. And then we'll see what happens to Walker. I think that's the scenario.
I would agree, but I think if Aiden goes 1, they go Trayvon.
I don't agree with that. So you don't agree with me?
Like, I don't agree with you on a lot of things.
Today, yeah, I don't think the Lions take Trayvon over Thibodeau.
I don't think anybody should take it.
Yeah, neither do I. And I don't think I don't. From what I've heard, either the Lions want to do it.
Yeah, I from what I've heard, the Lions had a bad interview with Kayvon.
A lot of people have bad interviews with Kayvon, and it's because of how they're perceiving him, and they're perceiving him wrong.
You know what? Kayvon is the second best player in this draft. He's the best edge rusher. Get it right.
He's the best player in this class for me. But let's go to
Kyle Hamilton.
Pick 32. I'll just spoil what Andrew has. Sam Howell, like that's what he has. Yep. I'm in limbo. I'm really not sure what to do. I'm in limbo. Not stop.
Sorry, I can't make an NFC North joke.
I'm in between things with the Lions. I currently have Quay Walker because I think we're really trending up to where he's the second linebacker taken. I told you last night, or I told Matt last night, Devin Lloyd was like minus 700 to be the first linebacker taken, and second was Kobe Dean at plus 600. Now today I wake up, the second option is now Quay Walker at like plus 400 for first linebacker taken.
From some things I've heard, people think Quay could be 1.
Yeah, they do as well. So
which I don't agree with at all. I think Devin is by far LB1. But then after that, my LB2 is also not Quay Walker. You know who my LB2 is. Troy Anderson, Montana State, the pride of Bozeman.
So, like, I do think Quay Walker is a guy that will excite Dan Campbell a lot. Going 2 Georgia guys right there with their first 2 picks. Interesting.
They're drafting winners, something they don't have right now. I'm sorry, Lions.
Mayock would be proud. True. Mayock would be real proud if they go Trayvon and Walker. If they go Trayvon and Quay. But that's why I really flirted with the idea for months, honestly, of Jaquan Brisker at 32. I love Jaquan Brisker. I think he's a really underrated prospect, playmaking enforcer. He's kind of older at 23, kind of plays into the fact that he wasn't able to get into college ball immediately, even though he had incredible offers. Because of grades, so he had to go to Lackawanna. This guy too, he grew up in Pennsylvania. He's all Pennsylvania. He hasn't played football for a team outside Pennsylvania his entire career. Will he stay with Philly or Pittsburgh? I don't know. I love the idea of the Lions getting Brisker. I just don't think it's going to happen. I went with Brisker 30th to the Chiefs.
I think Brisker. Like, say Philly moves down from one of their picks, I would actually like that if they took Brisker.
He was the pick is in for the Eagles. I went with Brisker in a trade up to get him.
From the second round. So they would have 3 firsts?
Early second. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's severely underrated.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring this one
Yeah,
up so I can talk about Kyle Hamilton. We need linebacker, secondary edge. So you need pretty much everything on defense, which yeah. The Lions have slightly more talent than the Texans. They are the NFC equivalent of the Houston Texans, but they have Amon-Ra and they have DeAndre Swift. They have Penei Sewell, TJ Hawkinson.
you've got a base, a foundation.
You've got a foundation. Now let's build some walls. And you know who hits harder than a wrecking ball taking down a wall? That's Kyle Hamilton. That was a awful comparison, but I'm gonna roll with it. 6'4", 220, flies across the field. I don't care that people think that he's slow because I ran a 4.7 40. People that think the 40 makes you fast or slow don't realize that we're in a different age of football. Talk about analytics. MPH, he zooms. Watch him against Florida State. He is freaking electric.
His range is unmatched.
He's a homing missile.
Yeah, I don't know why you said wrecking ball when you've been talking about him as a homing missile.
Well, I mean, he definitely has hit power.
And there's also no better comparison than mine. Noah Sewell to Bullet Bill from Mario Kart. That's the best one. 2023, baby.
Other media networks, they compare players to players. They compare Malik Willis to Randall Cunningham. I compare Kyle Hamilton to a homing missile, and Liam compares Noah Sewell to Bullet Bill. Where else can you get this?
You compare Trevor Penning to a guy that wants to cosplay as Jason from Friday the 13th?
Exactly. I also had Trevor Penning compared to
more than cosplay, but
yes, he might actually. Have we checked his history in Hollywood? Did he actually play?
He's old enough to have.
You know what? He definitely is old enough. But I also had a Trevor Penning comparison. A hungry wolf or a breakfast pastry loving hungry wolf who hasn't eaten in 2 weeks, because he is a dog and he loves pancakes.
Mm-hmm. I will say too, just kind of to touch on this Lions draft more. First off, really appreciate this comment. That means a lot. Touching on the Lions draft more, I really do believe in Antoine Randall L and his desire to get a receiver, and I really do think one of the top targets for him in South Alabama's Jalen Tolbert. I would not be one bit surprised if something nobody's talking about is Jalen Tolbert's the pick at 34, or if they move 34 down a few spots to take Tolbert. I really think at Senior Bowl that Randall L fell in love with the prospect that he could really mesh with and mold into a really good receiver. Tolbert is one of my favorite players in the class. I think he's a tremendous player that's going to carve out a pretty solid NFL career. I think the Lions and Jalen Tolbert have a special kind of like it's the same thing with you and the Lions with Sam Howell. Like I think this organization with these two players have really strong bonds that they've built in the pre-draft process. I'm not surprised to see Howell at 32, Tolbert at 34, or Howell at 32, and move 34 down a bit and take Tolbert in the 40s.
Yeah, I think Howell would have to be a first-round pick, so you do get that fifth-year option. But I do agree they would probably have to move down a little bit from 34. I mean, looking at some of the other receivers, if Pickens falls into the second round, he's most likely going to be the first guy off the board. Then you've got guys that could be second-rounders like Jahan Dotson, Alec Pierce, possibly Christian Watson, Sky Moore. So you don't have to trade down super far. You don't have to accumulate a ton of talent a ton of capital. But you also don't want to move down too far where you do risk losing him to another team that loves him as much as Antoine Randall does. And
with quarterback, we're going to see 3 in the first round minimum because Ritter is 100% going in the first round.
Yuck.
I mean, yeah, I get it though. I get it.
I understand it. Before I had to change the trades, the most Seattle trade and pick ever. I had them moving up to 28 with Green Bay. They have a trade history and takes Ritter. That's the most Seattle thing ever.
Guess why I had Seattle trading up to 29 to get Corral.
Nah, they would trade up for Ritter.
Ritter was off the board. I don't know. Where do you have Ritter?
I'm not done with this one because
Oh my
I was
gosh. We
I
need
was
to end
working on
this
my
thing.
notes. Sorry.
I know,
Yeah,
I know. You need to get that out ASAP.
yeah,
Golly.
I do. It'll take me like 15 minutes, but
Yeah, you also need to.
Desmond.
But,
Yeah, and I also need Dylan to edit it so I can.
oh gosh, we might have 2 midnight mocks.
No, because it has to be before then because I'm going live with Problem Right on Twitch at 10 p.m. CST.
Yeah, make sure to watch that and be there for the post party Among Us. Nah, for real. I have Ritter 26 to the Titans.
I hate it. I hate it.
Look, it makes sense.
It's realistic. It's realistic. I'm just saying I hate that he's a first rounder because I don't like him as a prospect.
I get it. So now I made my mock. I started yesterday, finished it yesterday, had trades, whatever, had to redo the trades. That stayed the same though. It stayed with Desmond Ritter at 26 to Tennessee. And now guess what? I wake up today. First thing I do, Ed Home drops a new mock. Go check his mock out. Ritter's 26 to Tennessee. Go check another mock out. Ritter's 26 to Tennessee. So maybe this is becoming something now, and it scares me that it's not going to happen. But the idea is there that Tannehill's going to be 34 or 35 going into the 2023 season, and they have a potential out after this season to get rid of him. You do that. He is not worthy of playing NFL football for as QB1 of the Titans at 35 years old. You get the out in his contract after this season. You have someone that sat a year in this class that you rely on and dependable on and that you trust. Hand the keys to the offense. See if this new era works out. I think Ritter's their guy.
The problem, and of course, I understand the pick. I understand everyone's basis for the pick. What does what does Desmond Ritter give you that Ryan Tannehill doesn't?
Youth.
Youth and the contract, but outside, every rookie quarterback gives you that.
That's the thing, though, is that I feel like they're kind of two very similar players, and that there's not that much like drop off. I would say. Like, I think Ritter, there's drop off, but the best potential thing for Desmond Ritter this week is that he's drafted by the Titans. That is his best case scenario. For his bank account and for his, he sits a year, he comes in 24-year-old sophomore, QB1, the Tennessee Titans. That's his best case scenario. I don't think there is a better scenario. Learn from Tannehill for a year, who's been in this league for how long and has been through how much and how many different situations and just all Tannehill's been through.
I think the better situation would be New Orleans, because you have Michael Thomas if he can stay healthy. You have Alvin Kamara as receiving threat out of the backfield, not just Derrick Henry, who is not really much of a. Okay, yes, he has the. Shut up. But you also have Jameis Winston, who's been in the league a long time, and you know who I bet would be willing to talk to Desmond Ritter? A certain Drew Brees. I'm sure he would be able to sit down and talk NFL football for a little bit. Having Drew Brees as a mentor is better than Ryan Tannehill as a mentor.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point.
I also prefer the offensive line of New Orleans much greater than Tennessee.
So I think these are the definite two best landing spots for him, without a doubt. Having A.J. Brown, I'm a lot more excited for than having Mike Thomas. I think that is a no-brainer for me. Really, with Mike Thomas's personality and everything.
If he can stay healthy, he was Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, he's a fantastic player, but we're talking about can he stay healthy? He's not the same guy he was.
A.J. Brown also has a tough time staying healthy.
I know, but A.J. Brown is still really young. Mike Thomas A.J. Brown still goes out there and plays, too, through injury and thrives with a bad knee and a bad leg. Michael Thomas hasn't played in how long?
It's been since 2019.
Yeah, he can't come back and be the same exact player that he was. What? And Alvin Kamara, only 29.
Yeah, 29 is not that old.
It
Like
kind of is. Like
it's
Mike
1 or 2
Williams
years past
is
his
29. Mike
statistical
Williams is
prime.
29. Like, yeah, but
Yeah,
that's where
Mike
the
Williams is still
drop
technically young.
He is
Like
not young. He's
I
only
would
technically young because he was an old prospect,
I would
which is so
consider
wrong.
once you get past like 30 and 31, that's when I consider you a little bit older. But no, I think we have this notion that just because there's so many great young wide receivers that the definition of old and young is changing.
No, when you're a 30, 31-year-old receiver and this when you're 29, 30, 31, you need to be looking to replenish and secure some depth and young talent in your receiver room. And the Chargers have to do that this year or next year.
Right.
Because Mike Williams is going to be 29 and Keenan Allen is what, like 30, 31? And then after that, you've got Josh Palmer as your future? No. If they took Treylon at 17, I'm not one bit surprised.
So you think Devontae Adams is old?
Yeah, he's up there, but he's also not the same talent as some of these other guys. He's just elite. He's just better.
Yeah,
he's
the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be able to produce for longer.
Yeah, and he doesn't really have the injury problems.
Yeah, but players that aren't of his stature aren't going to be able to produce at a high level when they're 34, 35, like Adams might be able to.
Yeah, that's going to be such a fun combination to watch, him and Derek Carr.
I mean, yeah, it would have been fun like when it was in college. I don't know about now.
Okay, what is this notion that people think Derek Carr is not a really good quarterback?
Because I watched them hunt down Darren Waller every single pass attempt last year when Waller was on the field, and I had a stroke every time.
And you know what? He's going to be a Green Bay Packer, so we don't have to worry about that anymore.
You shouldn't want that.
Why?
Because he's not that great anymore.
Darren Waller is a top 5 or 6 tight end.
I mean, I think that says more about the tight end position and where it's at and the transitioning of waiting for some of these young guys to step up and really thrive.
It's really freaking good right now. What?
Yeah, but like to have Darren Waller in top 5 or 6 after last year, he had one dang good breakout elite season. And then he dropped off and was hurt last year. And now you're like people can't keep assuming that people are going to go and bank on what they were for 1 year.
Okay, but when George Kittle got hurt, did we say he's no longer a top 3 tight end?
They're completely different players. George Kittle is the best blocking tight end in the league. Could act as a literal 6th offensive lineman. Does so much more in every aspect of the game than Darren Waller.
Well, yes, but
and Kittle's had a proven career for years.
Okay, Darren Waller is a top 5 or 6 tight ends. The tight end group right now in the NFL is really freaking good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and that shows that Darren Waller is near the top of the top.
I don't think he's up there.
Okay, Kittle, Kelsey,
who's also up there age now, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, but Kelsey's still producing at an elite level.
Kelsey, Pitts, there's Hawkinson.
I would not take Hawkinson over.
Oh, without doubt, I'm taking Hawkinson over Waller.
It's close.
It's not even close.
No, it's definitely close. Maybe it's just because Detroit makes him look a little less than what he is. But no, Darren Waller is a really freaking good receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm taking him over Mark Andrews.
No way.
Yes, Mark Andrews can't. He has a problem catching the ball.
Oh my! There's no way you're taking.
Yes, I'm taking Darren Waller over Mark Andrews. Okay, what other tight ends are you taking over Darren Waller right now?
Oh, I'm taking Mark Andrews over him like easily. Let me just bring up a list of tight ends so I could go down and figure it out.
Okay. Are you taking Mike Gesicki?
No.
Okay. Are you taking
Robert Tonyan? No, I'm not taking Tonyan. That's another one of the same things where he had a great breakout season, comes back the next year, is solid, and then gets hurt. Like, is Tonyan going to be the same guy that he was 2 years ago when he broke out in big fashion? with a bunch of touchdown accumulation? Probably not. Like, that stuff is hard to replicate. Darren Waller had the best season of his life, and he's never going to be able to replicate it. It's going to be tough for him to get close.
If he stays on Oakland or Vegas, my gosh, if he stays on, I mean, you're saying he's only had 1 year. He had 2 years of being really freaking good. Like last year, he was plagued with injuries, but he was on track to pretty much replicate that.
Because I watched Derek Carr throw the ball to him on every down and ignore wide open receivers on every single down to throw the ball to Derek Carr.
He's throwing to the guy he believes is the best. It's what Aaron Rodgers does with Devontae. So Darren Waller in 2019 and 2020 were both above 1,100 yards. In 2020, he had 17 more receptions at 107. And 2021, he was on track to pretty much match those totals. If he would have had a little bit less receptions, close to the same amount of yards, close to the same amount of touchdowns as 2019. He's a really good tight end.
I would love it if Noah Fant didn't have Drew Lock throwing to him.
Yeah, Noah Fant, that's just an unfortunate case.
Yeah, I would love it if Dallas Goedert didn't have Jalen Hurts throwing on the ball and it being in Philly's scheme.
Philly's also just – Philly doesn't know how to use talent. Like, I mean, Miles Sanders, when he runs the ball, he's good, but they don't give him the ball.
Hayden Hurst, talk about an awful first-round pick. That team gets praised in that class because they were able to draft Lamar Jackson, which they had to trade up for after taking Hayden Hurst from. Good job.
That's
Cole Kmet I've actually come around on. I actually kind of really like Kmet.
Kmet is I don't know. Kmet's
Knox.
But you're not taking any of those guys over Darren
No,
Waller.
I'm not. I'm just looking through. Oh,
I don't know.
easy. James O'Shaughnessy, easy.
Oh, okay.
I wish Colby Parkinson was in a better spot than Seattle.
What about Big Dog?
Big Dog.
Mercedes Lewis.
I didn't even know that was his nickname.
He went to your college.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't know. I cannot remember anyone ever calling him Big Dog. Like, I don't remember that happening at all. Dalton Schultz, I love Schultz.
I like Schultz too.
I need to see him continue. Again, he had a breakout season, really good. He needs to build off that. He needs to build off of it. If he goes out there and gets hurt, then he's in the same tug as all these other people I've been mentioning. Adam Troutman, bad situation.
I would like to see a full healthy season of Josiah DeGuara. He's not like a pure tight end, but I liked what I saw out of him before he got injured last year. Not last year, but year before last.
Okay, well, yeah, you know what? You're right. Waller is top 6 or 7, but five or 6, whatever. Yeah, he is up there. But goes to show the tight end depth in the NFL is really strong. There's a lot of good, talented young youth, but it is not like really, really good. Like, there's very elite tight ends in this league, and then there's a significant drop off.
I wouldn't say it's that significant. Like, I would put tight ends like Mike Gesicki as good. Gesicki's good. Schultz is good.
Yeah, but
Onion's good.
There's just a drop off when you talk about one.
Well,
there's a significant.
There's drop offs at every position. Like there's a significant drop off at quarterback.
Yeah, but there's also up and coming. Like I'm saying, what I was saying too is tight end is like transitioning with all the youth that because you're a tight end, like you're not gonna go in there and just dominate from the get-go. Like, that's kind of an anomaly. TJ Hawkinson has shown such great promise in his few years. But Noah Fant, if he wasn't in that garbage situation in Denver, would also be up there as one of the bright young tight ends. We have guys like Trey McBride and Dulcich and
Rucker.
likely Rucker. Auden coming in and so many more that are going to be a part of the youth tight end movement that's going to take over for these old guys like Kelsey and Kittle, unfortunately, and Waller. They're all old. Old at the tight end position is 30 years old, 31. There becomes a drop-off. You're playing a physical.
In cases, there's become a drop-off, but then there's also tight ends that have gotten like very long careers. Now, sure, Mercedes Lewis isn't a number one tight end, but he plays his role very well.
Mm-hmm. How sad is that?
You're not going to be a star tight end for
playing his role.
Well, I mean, it'll be very fun to watch because I love watching him as a blocker. Now, sure, we won't be able to get to see his elite receiving threat, but George Kittle is an amazing blocker.
Yeah, he is.
He would do just fine as a Mercedes Lewis type.
How did we get here? No, it's just sad to see, though, I'm saying.
Yeah. Do you want to end it here, or is there anything else you wanted to touch on?
Real quick, because we actually didn't even get to this, bold takes. And if we hit, we'll tweet. We'll do them real quick. We'll alternate.
Yeah. You go first.
All right. We're going to see one team in the first round is going to trade up and trade down in the same round.
That's Green Bay. It's Green Bay or Kansas City. Or New Orleans.
There's a lot. Yeah. It can also be Philly. It can all these teams with 2 picks. Why can't it be Philly?
I just don't think they move off of both of their picks. I think they stick at 18, most likely. If they move up from 15, I would understand that, but I don't think they move from 18.
I think they could, depending on when I picked for them in my mock. I really would have loved to trade down from 18.
I traded both picks for New Orleans and Green Bay. I moved up to get Cross, and I moved them down to get Pickett. I moved the Packers up to get Olave, and I moved them out of the first round so the Seahawks could get Ritter.
All right, go ahead with yours. Sorry.
I don't know how bold this is, but a lot of people are getting on the Breece Hall to 25 train. We're not going to see a first-round running back. I
talk to the odds. They're like minus 500. It doesn't happen, buddy.
No. You would be surprised. Breece Hall could.
I know that there's steam.
But okay, see, here's the thing. We always get in this discussion that there isn't a first-round talent at running back, but there always ends up being one. Like Clyde Edwards-Helaire was not a first-round talent. Kansas City still took him.
Yeah, it's not. I won't be I'm not surprised when a running back goes in the first round. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, 100%.
The first truly shocking pick isn't until 13.
So you don't think that they're going to take Stingley at 3?
I don't consider that shocking.
Okay, well, we consider
that
shocking.
We don't consider that shocking.
But we considered it shocking 3 days ago.
No, I didn't. I straight up told Matt and Sire that, sure. They're going to secure the top talent on their board. It's either him, Sauce, or Kayvon. That's not crazy at all. It's not shocking.
It's not crazy, but it would be a little shocking, say, a week and a half ago, for you to say that Stingley goes 3rd overall over Sauce.
I guess, but
I can understand if you think he's a better player, if he's a better talent, but I think just to the overall consensus, it's a bit of a shocker.
Possibly, yeah, that's fair. But I mean, straight up 13th pick, whether it's Houston or someone else, just makes a pick where we're all like, what? And I don't think for Derek Stingley, people are going to be like, what?
Because I think we have a little bit of warning with that. It's not going to be a shock. Just like Walker's not going to be a shock at 1.
Yeah, we also have 2019 tape that for people that are watching this draft actually know Stingley has been a dude. They might not be paying attention to mock drafts or anything. They see Stingley go 3rd. It's like, all right, this guy was really good. I watched him play a little. This makes sense.
Yeah.
First truly shocking pick, not until 13. A complete reach, I think. We'll find out who. Maybe it's Bernard Ryman.
Don't put that into the freaking existence of the universe.
Okay, well.
All right. We were just talking about Stingley. I think Sauce could have a small slide. I think that he could fall his way into the 7 to 10 range, which, oh no, he fell 3 or 4 spots. It's still a decent amount when it comes to the contract.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think if Stingley goes 3, I don't see the Jets going corner at 4. I don't see the Giants going corner at 5. Panthers definitely aren't going corner at 6. Giants could go corner at 7. Atlanta could go corner at 8. Seattle could go corner at 9, and New York could go corner at 10.
Yeah, I would say I completely agree. But Stingley or Sauce want to go 4, 5, or 6. I think Stingley or Sauce. We'll say in this scenario, Stingley goes 3. Then I think Sauce and Garrett Wilson are pick 7 and 8 in either order.
Yeah. And even if, like, say Jermaine Johnson's the pick at 7, I still think Sauce at 9. Like, I hate that he would fall into Seattle's lap because, by the way, if Seattle passed on him, oh my gosh, the freak out I'm going to have on stream that you should be watching tomorrow, 6:30 CST on this YouTube, on this Twitch. We're going to have the best draft stream reacting to all 32 of the first round picks. That was an elite promotion, Liam.
Yeah, it was. Okay, I like this prediction. Well, let's go real quick with this one.
All right.
Roger Goodell brings out the lazy boy.
On the Bellagio fountains?
Wherever he wants.
Well, you know what? It's your bold prediction. I'm gonna. Why didn't you say like a jar of M&Ms? That would be funny.
I just think he's gonna bring the lazy boy out. Bonus points for the M&Ms though.
Yeah, the M&Ms are stuck in the cushion. So I will round this off. I really believe this one. I don't know why, but there's going to be a team in the 20s. They're going to really freaking reach for a wide receiver. Whether it's, I'm going to pull up the wide receiver rankings I have. I'm not considering Watson a reach. I'm not considering Dotson a reach. I'm not even going to consider Pickens a reach, even though I do think he goes in the second round. I'm talking about Sky Moore, who is still a great wide receiver prospect. He's a second rounder. I think, and I don't know why I keep on coming back to this name, 28 for Green Bay. I would not like this pick value-wise, but it makes so much sense if they draft Alec Pierce at 28. He just fits what they want to do on offense.
Prayers.
If they draft Alec Pierce at 28, I don't know. I'm gonna freak out. I don't know. But that's a player. I think someone could love Jalen Tolbert, even though him being in the first round wouldn't completely shock me.
Yeah.
John Mechie, no, not really, just because of
the
injury.
The Raiders aren't picking, but
I would love for Khalil Shakir to be a first rounder.
Same.
But outside of that, then you're getting pretty unrealistic. Like Alec Pierce, 28 or 29 would. I feel like that would be a real shock pick that I'm kind of bracing myself for.
So I actually had 2 more.
Okay, go through.
One's not bold for us, but George Karlaftis, straight up, better career than Trayvon Walker, no doubt about it.
That's not a bold take for us.
Yeah, not for us, for other people. They're like, you would rather have Karlaftis than Trayvon Walker? Yeah, it's not even close. If I'm picking up one and my only options were Walker and Karlaftis, I'll just take Karlaftis.
I'll try back, but I know what you mean.
We can't. We're stuck at one. It has to be Karlaftis and Walker.
Sonny, are we trading one?
No, we're not. And then the next one, guarantee James Cook, you are a Buffalo Bill.
Ooh. James Cook, Buffalo Bill. I would love that. Get that extra receiving threat out of the backfield for Josh Allen. Already got Stephon. Already got Gabe. Already got Dawson.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's it for us, though.
Yeah.
Now we're 44, and I said we'd probably just do 30 minutes.
Yeah, hour 44. I'm going to be working for the next 4-hour stop.
Yeah, you need to get on that, man.
All right. Appreciate everyone for watching. Make sure you hit the like button wherever you are, subscribe, comments, share, do whatever everyone else tells you to do for podcasts, streams, stuff like that. Appreciate everyone for listening. Make sure you tune into the draft stream tomorrow on this YouTube, on this Twitch. Elite. It's going to be elite. Trust me. I have some great stuff planned, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.